Ashish, thank you so much for speaking to us. Obviously, there are days and then there are days. How do you see this development? Finally, Supreme Court कहते हैं अक्सर देर है अंधेर नहीं. क्या यही थियरी लागू होगी इस बार राहुल गांधी के इस केस पर?
We discussed same thing on this platform only, and I said I won't be surprised if Mr. Gandhi gets relief from the Honorable Supreme Court. Because you see, once the appeal has been admitted on merits, and please keep in mind that the appeal against conviction is still pending before the concerned court. Once the appeal is admitted on merit, there is no point keeping that sword hanging on the neck of Mr. Gandhi, and it's very normal for any court to grant a stay on conviction. So I was expecting that the order will come from the concerned High Court itself, but somehow for various reasons we didn't see that, and finally the day is here. We are seeing what was expected.
I think when you say it is expected, I think the judicial play is over, and I think BJP is also losing its handle on this defamation issue. There was a politics around defamation, that Rahul Gandhi is a careless guy, he makes careless statements, it doesn't make a thing. Now that handle is gone. So I think for Rahul Gandhi, it's not a relief in context of just representation. It is a relief in context of the charge which was there on his character. कि कुछ भी बात बोल देते हैं, कभी भी बोल देते हैं, उनकी बात के मायना क्या है, सीरियसली मतलब लोग कह रहे हैं कि संसद में मनोरंजन होता था, मतलब ये भी कहा जा रहा है. तो fine, I mean, Brijesh, if we have to, look at it from that point of view, obviously the return of Rahul Gandhi, if you may put it that way, how significant do you believe? Because especially Rahul Gandhi, the time he was, expelled from the Lok Sabha, that was the time when this attack on the business houses of Adani was pretty much there, and Rahul Gandhi was mentioning it time and again. So how does it change?
Well, I think, I will, if I am a Congress person or if I am a political analyst, I would view this victory as a series of victories which the Congress have been encountering for a while now. And this would be a boost in the step of a common Congress workers, because the perception which they were telling was, or they were trying to sell to their cadre was that how it is the Modi government which is vindicating against them, going after them. It is a BJP worker who has filed the case. And very interestingly, Pankaj and Karthikeya, if you remember, one of the interesting aspects of the case right from the word go was, when there was a different judge at the lower court, they had virtually bailed themselves out, and the case was again brought into contention when a new judge had come, and this order was passed. So I think for the Congress party, it's a big day. They will celebrate, savor the victory, and I think the Congress is going to be a lot more aggressive from Monday onwards if Rahul Gandhi is reinstated by then in the Lok Sabha.
Right, Ashish, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Ashish, tell me one thing. Do you think that the courts, the lower courts, it just reinforces this. It reinforces this view that they function very differently when it comes to cases. They take the maximum position, and the moderation has to be done in the highest apex court.
From legal point of view, I think I'll refrain from any comment against the court and its functioning.
No, this is not. I did not say court. I did not say High Court. I say what the question was, this perception that the moderation is only.
Or rather, let me simplify it for you. Let me say it. That how do you react to the Supreme Court observation when they said that the lower court has not reasoned its order while awarding the maximum sentence possible under that section?
You see, what happens in such matters usually, there is obvious that dicta and ratio decided. The effective order which has come from the Supreme Court is that the conviction has been suspended. There is a stay on the conviction, and by implication, Parliament's membership of Mr. Gandhi has been restored. But as far as those observations are concerned, these observations, there is a line in the order. I haven't gone through the order, but usually there is a line in such orders that any observation from the Supreme Court will not have any merit as far as the original appeal, which is still pending, is concerned. So we will have to see if there is any line to that effect, and if that line is not there, that itself casts a doubt that how trial court was functioning. Because you see, this is a criminal defamation case, and if I'm not wrong, rarely there have been any instance where maximum punishment has been given in a criminal defamation case. And as the court observed that if the sentence would have been lesser for even a single day, the disqualification might not have been applicable. So we will have to see how things proceed as far as the trial court is concerned. But I believe if that line is
there
not
is one
there,
more
that will
question.
have
Before you
some
came,
sort of bearing as far as the original appeal is concerned.
there's a question. Please try to answer this for our viewers. Disqualification of public representative is not new in India, correct? So when the honorable judge said that you have to also take into account the representation, people. Indira Gandhi got disqualified. People get disqualified on corruption cases. This was a defamation case. Was the honorable judge trying to draw a difference between the cases of defamation, corruption and malpractices when he said, what about the representation of people? Because representation of people is supreme, it's sacred in democracy. So I just want to know from a lawyer's perspective, what is the difference that judge was trying to draw?
I would say I agree to this observation that when we are dealing with such cases in respect of public representative, especially those who are holding very high political seats, I would say, then obviously vis-a-vis this situation, we have to consider they have a fundamental right to speak, not only on behalf of them, but on behalf of the people they are representing. So in such cases, obviously the court should have a moderate view as far as up to what extent such punishments can be imposed, which will effect of such punishments is that the original representation is kind of challenged. Because you see, when Mr. Gandhi spoke about that particular sentence which was discussed by Mr. Gandhi, he was speaking in the capacity of a public representative. So, how to balance this thing with his right to speak on behalf of his people? These things have to be
Right.
very balanced, and I believe honorable judges were talking about these things.
Okay.
Right.
Uh, apart from this legal issue, what sort of response should we expect from Bharatiya Janata Party? I know, this is,
But
this
if
is,
we- but if you don't-
it's $1 million question.
No. I
See, I mean-
think what the BJP will try to
And
do.
I'm asking this in long run, not a short run. Obviously, not
But
the short
before
run
that,
question.
I think Congress is getting impatient to give a sound bite. We should listen to that also.
No.
Yes.
My question to you, Brijesh, is, bites come and go. What would be the long-term strategy?
See, the BJP feels that that they have already put Rahul Gandhi through the grind of the law, and they will use this. As we had discussed that day, if you remember, when the lower court has sentenced them, and I had said that that they will hit the ground running by using the insult to Modi as an insult to the OBC caste. And within 45 minutes, we heard a BJP press conference in which they went hammer and tongue talking about how this is not an insult to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, this is an insult to the entire OBC community. The BJP is going to continue with that line. They will highlight it as much as possible that the way he has spoken about, the way he has said that that sare chor Modi kyun hote hain, that line they are going to exploit it, A, politically, B, they are going to keep their narration focused around the caste line, because that is something which is going to pay them a rich political dividend. Karthikeya.
Apart from rich political dividends, I would say that Rahul Gandhi also stands vindicated in many other ways, because Rahul Gandhi's side of the story in a narrative came across as the guy is not serious. Guy says anything just because he comes from a powerful political family, he gets away. Today is the time to put Rahul Gandhi's side of story. There has been time where the side of the BJP story was given, that आप कैसे प्रधानमंत्री के बारे में बोल सकते हैं. No one should have the right to abuse the Prime Minister, but you have the right to criticize the Prime Minister. And we draw that line on News9 Live. But the point is, what do you do with tanj? What do you do with humor? If you look at American and the French politics, if you look at the UK politics and the way people charge at each other, I am 100% sure people are going to have multiple heart attacks, and there would have been 5,000 cases in the court.
But Karthike, there are two angles to it. First angle is that what you're talking about, the image of Rahul Gandhi. I think the image of Rahul Gandhi, Pankaj and Karthike underwent a lot of resurrection and change, post Bharat Jodo Yatra. Bharat Jodo Yatra presented Rahul Gandhi as a serious figure, as a serious politician, because he specifically fought at two aspects, two charges which was hurled at him maximum. A, he is not serious and consistent. B, he makes a lot of irresponsible statement. And there's no connect in the story. Now what has happened is that he got rid of both the charges, by making sure that he's there, walking thousands of kilometers, talking to people and, staying the course. His staying the course helped in change of the narrative. The second thing is that, but Karthike, still I believe that, and I'm not taking anybody's side and all, but I still believe that while you have the right to criticize anybody as much as you can, there is a line of civility, there is a border line of civility which you have to follow, and there is not much, you can do about it. You should follow. If you are a public representative, you have to lead by example. Though awarding of 2 years on this was definitely overstretch.
Apart from that, I would say that this case is important in many other ways. This case is important, for one simple reason, that this was about a person who was being projected to take over the Prime Minister. Secondly, we have to understand, we can accuse Congress party of dynasticism, but every political party in India has dynasties. So that had become a very strong platform for BJP to attack Congress party. So what is happening in the way is that Rahul Gandhi, by the intervention of the court, has got another lease of life. I completely agree with Brijesh. I covered Bharat Jodo Yatra in Ernakulam. I spent 7 days. A part of it was in Kerala. And I could see the change. In fact, I was the, I was the one who couldn't believe it. He was the one who saw the, the early green leaves. I was skeptical of it. He was hopeful of it. And it reinvented him. Now, I'm not saying that this completely reinvents him. But this gives him some armor. This gives him some political armor.